good morning, and welcome back to the Dennis Herrera Show. I am still laughing from last night at such a good speech, if I say so myself. I'm working on making my little mushroom coffee here. This is going to be probably a very short live, to be honest. Gotta take my nephews up to the Snoqualmie Pass. They gotta have some time with the snow, and they should be here anytime. So they're gonna cut me off real quick here. Um, I do want to say I'm so traumatized. It is what it is, my friend. It is what it is. Hey, listen, at least Nancy Pelosi stood up this time. That was nice. That was nice. They're coming along. I'm trying this whole rice thing. I don't know if I see a difference. If you are watching this, I don't think that it tastes great, as people say on the commercials. But I do mix it with coffee. Coffee. Give sec. All right. So I know the coffee is good, and I tried it without mixing it with coffee, but it just doesn't taste good. Let me just tell you that. Even though Wedo's over here lying that mushroom coffee is good for you. Hold on, give me a second. They give me a little ETA time here. Okay, 9:30. We'll get an hour. Okay, good, good. All right. So we got an hour, and that is not enough time for me to say everything that I want to say. As you know, I like to talk, and that's why we make this show so that we can talk a lot. All right, welcome, Wedo. Good to see you on here. God is always right. Good morning, and welcome. I know normally I come in about 11, 9, between 9 and 11, I guess, is the time that I do my lives. Before we continue, salud, my friends. Using my Felons coffee cup today. I do want to see if I can get people calling in. Where the hell is my other phone? Maybe not. I want to have, I don't know if it's going to happen today, but maybe for tomorrow's live, I want to have a conversation about jobs. I want to talk with people about jobs. I want you guys to give me your input. There's a lot of AI coming on. There's a lot of Trump, trying to bring manufacturing jobs back, which is a good thing. It's a good thing. And I think that manufacturing jobs, we're getting this new technology with AI where you have robotics doing a bunch of stuff for us, especially like with Amazon. You see it the most, right? They're very good at sorting. They're very good at tracking. They're very good at lifting, hundreds and hundreds of pounds and moving them around like nothing. So there's a lot to say about AI. And I'm all for old school, bring manufacturing jobs back, etc. There's all these conflicts around tariffs, benefits, and the problems that it caused. People with taxes. What I really don't. Hey, good morning, Fresh. How are you, brother? Hola, playas, says Jason. Good morning, Jason. I understand. Why we would want taxes. I get it. I get it. Hey, Hugo, freedom of speech, man. Calm down, SA. Yeah, man, these guys. Just Google it and find out where Gulf of Mexico is and look at the name on it. If you find Mexico there, we'll change it back. Oh, look at that. Dennis is live. All right. And, the thing is, hey, good morning, Brian. Good morning, Brian, man. You've been knocking it out of the park on the comments, on the videos. Well done, my friend. Well done. Good information. Good information. 100%. You know, we have people that, for some reason, they are. Good morning, Bill. They're okay with these high taxing, you know, here locally. I wanted to make sense, and I want to really, really understand why the leftists or the people that disagree with us are so hell bent against tariffs. I really, really want to know why. And I wish that it was just a matter of, oh, it's tariffs. No, it's not the tariffs. It's Trump. They don't like Trump. Now let me just. I'm not an economist, right? I'm just an American citizen. I'm just a guy, you know, just a guy. I try to, use critical thinking. I try to put one and two together, and I try to use common sense to everything in my life. See, everything in my life has to have a balance. And a lot of people don't like me because I sound very rude because I don't agree with them right away. I have to see both sides of the story. I got to go see both sides of the coin so that I know what's going on. And so here's my take when it comes to tariffs. Okay, I know this is going to be a short life for what we normally have, and who knows? You know what? If I have enough reception up in the mountain, I will go live up in the mountain, and you guys can see the snow and all that good stuff. Okay, but here's the thing. Okay, hear me out, man. That's we're excited. I was happy. I was laughing. Ilhan Omar almost pooped her panties last night with that speech. The swamp is still there. I'm disappointed that it's not drained yet, but I'm going to give it to Democrat politicians. These corrupted politicians have a lot of power. They have a hold of Congress. They really have been in power for too long, and they keep people on there because they can. Okay? Docito, good morning. Good morning, my friend. Because I listen to what the mainstream media say, and they run it with, yeah, you're right. You're right. But I mean, when I say I don't understand, I mean I can't believe that people still go do that stuff. But here's what I'm going to give you on tariffs. Okay, remember, freedom of speech. Don't let the hat fool you. Don't be a libtard. Don't be a libtard. Listen, this is what I see tariffs. Okay. Now, before we talk about tariffs, we got to talk about where the problem really lies, okay? And the problem really lies on why are we losing hundreds of billions of dollars every year in revenue? Why? Why are we losing hundreds of billions of dollars in revenue every year? That means money coming in, right? Money coming into our country, money for the government. Now, you just don't think. Just listen. Just listen. Try to process the thought here. We're losing hundreds of thousands of dollars every year, and then you have to ask yourself why. Why are we losing hundreds of thousands of billions of dollars? Hundreds of billions of dollars every year. And you're like, well, we got businesses all over the place. Black Friday sales are up, even though they're not. Christmas shopping was up, even though it's not. You got all these things that we think, oh my God, we got the best economy, where the economy is booming. We got Californians bragging about they're the fourth, most revenue generating, and they take all this pride, they say, on how much money they're making here. In the meantime, their people can't afford rent. They can't afford gas. They can't afford to eat. They can't afford nothing. And yet they brag about how good they're doing. Well, I'm going to go in with tariffs. You got all these people bragging, oh man, we're doing so good. We brought in billions of dollars in this, and well, the people still suffering. So apparently your version of good is not good. So stop bragging about it. So we say, okay, so we got hundreds of thousands of dollars, hundreds of thousands, hundreds of billions of dollars being lost in revenue coming into this country. And you say, hey, you know what? Our small businesses are doing very great. They're doing fantastic. But in the meantime, our debt keeps getting worse and worse, right? I get how the debt works. I get it. But here's the thing. Why are we losing money? Well, we know the answer is very simple. We're losing all this money because the world is tariffing the crap out of us. China's economy, let me be clear, China's economy has been raised and lifted and established by the United States of America. I know here in America, we a lot of people, I'm going to say I'm a little retarded sometimes because I have way too many thoughts in my head, and it sounds like I'm retarded, but believe me, I'm not. There is a logic before everything. I can't put it down in words for the libtards to understand. I can't dumb it down. I have a hard time with that. But let me just tell you that I see everything that happens in our country. Everything. And I see that there's good economy coming in. There's works being created, and then there's programs that encourage people to not work, and then they complain about there's no work and the unemployment is so high. Well, why is the unemployment so high? Because people don't want to go to work. Well, why don't they want to go? They don't want to work because they get free healthcare, they get free food stamps, they get free housing. Why would they go to work? If they go to work, they have to pay taxes, and they don't have enough money to pay for everything. It's just crazy. Just crazy. It drives me nuts. I can't explain everything all about one thing, all at once. It's difficult. And I know that people don't believe that I have ADD, ADHD, and believe me, it's very hard for me to control it. So let me go back to the tariffs. So what do? We have a president that believes that we shouldn't be losing revenue. We shouldn't be losing money. So what do? Hey, China, listen, can we please renegotiate these tariffs that you put on us? Now, the libtards, they don't listen. They don't pay attention. They don't use common sense. They don't even like to use critical thinking. They like to react on everything on emotions. Now, while everything has an emotional reaction, it doesn't mean that we make decisions on emotional states like the libtards do. Like, for example, Damien. Damien says all these negative things in here instead of saying, hey, good morning, how are you? Right? Let's engage in the conversation. But the first thing the libtards do is start insulting people. Now, listen, if I say libtards, I don't know who you are. You see me, you hear me, you know me. I don't know who you are. So if I say libtards and you get butthurt and you want to let us know that you are a libtard, okay, that's fine. No problem. You know how I recognize libtards? When they start cussing me out. Because when you do it on the chat, just so you know, it's directly to me. and so that is a very different approach. You see what I'm saying? Like a lot of people say, well, wait a minute, you calling people retards. Oh, well, in general, if you're not it, don't worry about it because the insult's not for you. But when you do it, it's coming directly to me. So of course I have to react. I got you. So what do we say? China, Russia, India, the world, listen to us. Please, let's negotiate. Shut up, USA. No, come on. Come on, man. Let's negotiate. Shut up, USA. I'm trying to tell it as a story so that you can understand. And so we, the United States, go to China and say, hey, listen, we're losing a lot of money. And we noticed that you have hundreds of billions of dollars that I wish you were helping your people, but you're building fake cities. You made a full replica of Paris, of German towns. Full replicas, not just a couple of the Eiffel Tower, not just the building here. No, full replicas of those cities because of all the money that they took away from us, the United States of America. So we say, hey, China, come on. Hey, listen, you got nuclear weapons. I got nuclear weapons. You're a superpower country. We're a superpower country. Let's negotiate these tariffs because, man, you're killing us. You're killing us. And you know what they say? F you, America. You need us because we give you cheap products. Your small business and corporations are making money because we abuse our children's labor. Because we abuse our citizens and we don't pay them a fair wage. So you need us because we do the dirty work that you dumb Americans don't want to do. We will exploit our people. You don't do that. That's your loss. We will exploit child labor. You Americans are stupid. You don't do that. So we will do it because we're communists. And what we say in government is what goes. And the people just got to listen and go with it. So President Trump says he gets in office. Wait a minute. What did you just say? What did you call us? You know what? How much tariffs are you putting on us? 100%? 100% tariffs on your ass for anything that you want from the United States of America. And this is how tariffs start being implemented around the world. And President Trump says, I am sick and tired of all the world taking advantage, living off our welfare. Not our welfare, living off our money. 190 countries, well, maybe 170, I forgot the number. 170 to 195 countries get money from the United States of America. Well. Do you think that at some point in life we might want to make some freaking money? I think so. Yeah, I think so. Nancy Pelosi and the goons in the swamp, they figure out that they can make millions of dollars by going globalist. Forget nationalist. Who cares about the nation? And then when people hear that I'm a nationalist, because I am, when people hear that Trump is a nationalist, they say we're Hitler. Are you stupid? Why would you say that? Because Hitler was a nationalist? Yeah, but he was freaking crazy. He was a dictator. He was a communist. Yeah, he was a nationalist. But even his people were not good enough. So what kind of nationalist is he? See, the kind of nationalist we are a nation of the United States of America. And we care about everybody in the nation. Blacks, Asians, Hispanic descent, whatever it is. There's a big difference. And the libtards, they just go with whatever the legacy media says. And by the way, the legacy media was getting billions of dollars of your tax-paying dollars. How about that? So anyway, so now we have President Donald Trump, which is being hated by the libtards. I get that. And you people may never lead the right way. But we have learned how to be better people. I love it. Samuel, how are you, my friend? You know what? The Brits and us will forever be connected because of the English language. And we love you guys. We wish everything the best for you guys over there on that side of the hemisphere. I really do. And I think most Americans, most people who are conservatives, most people who are God-fearing or believe in God, that we are in the same mentality that we respect and love you guys. Now, will we ever let anybody come over here and force themselves on us? Hell no. We will fight that. Okay? I love our independence. I love that we're the United States of America, and I love that the Brits are over there, and England is over there, and the UK is over there. I love all that. You keep your territory, we keep ours. And we'll forever be in some way grateful that we speak English and we can communicate on a national one language. For me as a Hispanic, Latin America, I speak Spanish fluently, so I love that. I am thankful for the Spaniards for coming in here and at least leaving some of that. Am I thankful for the atrocities that they did? Of course not. But at the end of the day, we are who we are today because of all the bad stuff that's happened throughout our history. Now I want to go back to the tariffs. Okay, so tariffs are meant to be a negotiating tool. And that's exactly what President Trump has been saying since the 80s. And now that he's in office, he finally did it. And I wish that there was facts that we were not doing good. Remember how I started this story. We asked China, we asked India, we asked all these countries, hey, we need to negotiate these tariffs. We're losing money. As I say, we're hemorrhaging money. We're losing money. We're bleeding out our dollars. Our dollar's going down in value because we're not taking care of our dollar, and we should. Do I want to put down people that want to go and collect precious metals? No, go collect your gold, get your silver, get your platinum, get all your stuff. Get it. Get it done. I got it. Get it. But we need to protect our dollar. That is the world's currency. I mean, for Pete's sakes, why is the euros more expensive than the dollar now? Why? We are greater and stronger than they are. But because Congress has become a big bridge connection to lobbyists, globalist lobbyists, they don't want to fight for America no more. They want a one world order. Damn, that sounded very creepy right there. But that's exactly where I'm heading with this. Okay, so we have tariffs. Okay, listen, reciprocal tariffs. How can the Supreme Court, which by the way, the Supreme Court just told Trump, hey, you can't use this, but you can use this. Man, forget it. Let me try to be serious here. So we can't have Congress tell the president how to negotiate with the world. Congress is a piece of shit, to be honest. I am sick of Congress. I am so against Congress right now because I wish that they would take longer to do things because it's for the best interest of the United States of America. But it's not. Every single Democrat, how many times have you seen their live speeches? And all the libtards always tell us, illegal immigrants are not voting. Illegal immigrants are not getting health care. Illegal immigrants are not getting money for subsidies. They're not getting... Shut the hell up. Every single Democrat leader says that they are for that. Your precious Bernie Sanders, which I don't know how the hell he's still in office. He should be in an asylum already. Even he says that he believes in universal health care, and that's including illegals. Even he says the welfare system is also for illegals. When the hell did that law change? As far as I know, if you are a resident, a green card, a resident alien of this country, there is up to 5-year waiting period before you can apply for any type of welfare. You have to be an American citizen to get welfare. I don't care what people say. Hey, if people abuse it, I'm against it. Of course I am. But it's a benefit for Americans. At least it's being used on Americans. I don't get too deep into it. Do you understand what I'm saying? Every single Democrat politician is lobbying for globalism. They don't lobby for us. They lobby for the world. And just to get the record straight, if I buy a product from China, made in China, so what? I don't hate China. I don't know why these libtards always come in here and think that they're insulting me by saying, "Oh, that American flag in the back was made in China." Oh, speaking of, that's not bright enough. Oh, there we go. All right, now you can see my beautiful American flag behind me better. And you know what? I'm all for it. I'm not saying that we can't, buy from China. I'm not saying we can't buy from India or Russia. I'm not saying none of that. I don't care what conflict we have. I am not a libtard that's just going to boycott everything. And I'm sorry if you conservatives come in here and you want to cut businesses that are against us. I don't play that game. You can do it. That's fine. I'm not going to judge you for it. But listen, I will call you out on it. And that's not judging, just calling it out as it is. That's what I always do. I try to tell the truth all the time. Okay? I try. And what I say by try is I believe is the truth, but I could be wrong. I always tell you, hey, go do your research. Don't just go on my numbers. Don't just go on my information. Go do your research. I had Tyrone, right? Everybody knows. Well, most people know Tyrone is AKA Melody. Right? Melody leaves comments on there, and she made a comment this morning. Now, we'll get back to the towers, but she made a comment this morning. Well, I don't know, maybe yesterday, a couple of days ago. But she made a comment on one of my videos, and she says something about how Trump should be held accountable, and President Trump asked for the death penalty of the Fantastic Five. You guys know who I'm talking about? The special five. I don't know what the hell their name is. I call them Fantastic Five. Apparently, it's five people that got convicted of a crime back in the late 80s, right? And President Trump, he was not president, but Trump did put a full-page ad out there that asking for the death penalty. And I'm just like, whoa, that's wrong, man. Why did Trump do that? As you go and dig into the story, the reason why Trump said that is because they confessed. They confessed to the crime. What are you going to say as a citizen? The same thing. I said I would have said the same thing. It was atrocious. But what was the problem? The problem was that as you look deeper into the story, they say that the reason why they testified, or they oh my God, I just said the word. I just said the word in English and I lost it. The reason why they confessed to the murder was because of some harsh conditions and treatment from, the correctional facility or police or whatever, that at the end they decided to just confess to get it over with. And so this is how libtards get it wrong. They get half of the information and they go on it 100% like there is no tomorrow. Thank you, Brian. Confess. That's correct. And it's just like I try to tell everybody, listen, you come in here, if you're a Democrat, Republican, or just you don't have a party affiliation, I don't care. I want Americans here. If you see me support Republicans, it's because that is the policies that I want to support. Do I believe everything is going to be smoothly? No. I'll be naive if I did. Do I believe that this administration is going to be perfect? Of course not. Nobody has expected any administration to be 100% accurate. And the reason why we fight with libtards is because they want to say all these negative things about us, but they don't say anything about the horrible things that they've done. And let's be honest, if President Trump, if we didn't win this last election with President Trump, our country would be doomed. You know what I saw? I saw a lot of movement from China, from Russia, from all these countries, and even the little mofo countries, even the little third world countries. They're out there barking at us like little chihuahuas. Why? Because they see Congress. Congress is a blocker. You know what? This podcast show is going to evolve into something that is, it's going to be crazy. But I'm trying to keep it down a little bit. I'm trying to keep it down a little bit because we know we have some work to do here pretty soon, and we're gonna start in May. A lot of people know what that means, and I can't wait to start. Let me tell you that. It's very unknown what's going to happen, but we're gonna go ahead and hit a campaign very hard. But anyway, so I tell you all this because every single time that I try to give some sort of information to a libtard, they always come in with something that has nothing to do with what we're talking about. Like if I said we're going to talk about tariffs and taxes, release the Epstein files. Oh my God, dude, come on. Millions of files. Yes, they mentioned Trump. You know why they mentioned Trump? Because Trump effed them up. Trump snitched on them. What do you think they're going to say about Trump? Well, we got to find out a way to incriminate this guy. We got to find out. You know what? Keep talking about Trump. Let's see what happens. And doggone it, Trump says, hey, just leave it alone. Forget about it, right? It is what it is. You better believe it. I am a loudmouth Honduran. The good thing is I am on the United States of America side, baby. So the United States of America got a new loudmouth of truth. And don't you forget it. That's for you, BC. BCJ is a Somali. He's one of the pirates that infiltrates my chat. And he thinks that his IQ is smart enough to be able to talk shit to Americans, but he doesn't know any better. It's all right. I forgive him. I love special people. But we have Congress fighting President Trump on these tariffs, right? Okay. Listen, I understand that, some things, some tariffs. Listen, how can I say this? Let's see if we can make sense of something here, okay? Man, you shouldn't be proud of being Somalian, especially with your low IQ. I know Somalians that are actually pretty smart. Very few, but I know some, and they're actually very special people. But let me tell you something. Let's look at it this way. Let's look at it this way. All right, so if we're gonna just do a trade, a normal trade deal in the world, well, let's go ahead and talk with Congress. All right, here we go. I wanna put a 15% tariff on China because, well, they've been screwing us over for a very long time. And if Congress will say, "Holy shit, yeah, that is true. That is true. China has been screwing us over on trading. So, Mr. President, hey, by all means, do what you got to do. You got our approval. Here's our signature. Boom! Congress is fantastic, phenomenal. Let's go." But that's not the way Congress works. Congress doesn't like Trump. Remember the story. Remember the little example that I gave you. If you raise your children to hate this country, they will never grow up to want to fight for it. Dang, don't forget that Dennis Herrera said it here first in this show. I don't think anybody has ever said that in the history of mankind. Anybody? Has anybody said that before? I don't think so. But if you raise your children to love this country and to become patriots, they will give their life for this country. Does that make sense? It's common sense to me. I've never heard of this before. This is just what I'm telling you. I've used this a couple of times here on my show, but I have not heard anybody ever say that. So remember, you heard it here first in the Dennis Herrera Show. Now, with that being said, if you are going to oppose every little thing that President Trump is doing to put America first, like, for example, if we give $40 billion to Argentina, how are we putting America first? Number one, let me remind you, we are in the Americas. Why are we meddling in Venezuela? Why are we meddling in Honduras? Why do we want to help Mexico? You know why we want to help? Because they're in the Americas. And what happens here in the Americas, it eventually affects Americans. And it's very simple. I don't understand why the libtards and the people on the left, they just don't want to agree to that. You know what's great about being in this country? Right now, you can be a libtard. But the moment that you choose to go on and be a common sense person and join the right side, hey, you're still part of the family. You always have been. We just want you back on the American team. You know, I find that interesting, and I was so satisfied on watching. Oh man, hold on. I gotta go get this. I gotta get this clip. Hold on. I was so satisfied. Hold on. Oh, I love it. I gotta play it, guys. I gotta play it. I gotta play it.
Shame. You should be ashamed of yourself not standing up. You should be ashamed of yourself. That is why I'm also asking you to end deadly sanctuary cities that protect the criminals and enact serious penalties for public officials who block the removal of criminal aliens. In many cases, drug lords, murderers all over our country, they're blocking the removal of these people out of our country, and you should be ashamed of you.
Look at the lady's face in front of her. I'm gonna make this bigger for you guys. Oh my goodness. Look at her face. Oh man, look at her face. She's almost crying of anger. Ilhan Omar, you're done. You have been cooked. Well done. Well done. Let me tell you something. Why would we be ashamed of enforcing our laws? Our laws. Why would we be ashamed of that? And yet, President Trump is telling her she should be ashamed of protecting criminals. She should be ashamed of protecting illegal immigrants. Tell me, who should be ashamed? The one enforcing the law to keep our country safe and the order for the people, or the ones defending those who break the law? Oh man, that was sweet. Oh man, I'll tell you, man, I love that speech last night. Oh boy, man, that almost changed my whole hour of this show today. I'll tell you that right now. All right, but getting serious on this, I'm going to say this, and I think that I have explained tariffs and the way that I see things. Congress is not doing a good job. Congress has been failing us. Congress has been failing the American people. You got to see it for what it is. You got to see it for what it is. I wish that the legislative branch would make laws to keep protecting Americans. Why is it so hard? Why is it so hard to fight for your own American people? You know why? It's sad to say, but the biggest issue it's that we have horrible migrants. You know, there's two kinds of migrants. Hey, Robert, good morning, brother. There's two kinds of migrants. There's the migrants that come here with education, with a good purpose to help America. And they want to protect and respect the laws of this country because they know that if they become citizens, this is their country. And if they don't protect it, well, they're not going to have a good country for their future or their children's and their children's future. But then you have the bad migrants, like Ilhan Omar is the biggest example that I can give you. Yes, we can go with the one next to her on the left. You guys probably didn't see her on the video, but is Talib Rashid. She's crazy. She's the one that called President Donald Trump a mofo, right? They didn't censor that word, but every word that President Trump or I say, oh, we're condemned to hell. We are condemned to hell for the bad words that we say. But whenever they call him a Nazi, and all this stuff, that's okay? I don't think so, homie. I don't think so. As in Living Color, Damon Wayans say, homie, don't play that. I know, I'm a clown. I'm trying to keep it serious here. I'm trying to keep it serious. Whoa, Linda. Don't mention that movie. That's a horrible movie. Probably Tom Cruise's biggest mistake in his career. That's horrible. I hate that movie. But then you have Ilhan Omar. What does Ilhan Omar stand for? She does not stand for Americans. She don't stand for the American black Americans. She don't stand for the American Hispanics. For Pete's sakes, she's going out there telling everybody how evil white people are. And that's not who we are as Americans. As Americans, we're a melting pot. We're a melting pot of very many ethnicities. And that's why when we say we're nationalist, we are talking about our nation first, America first. That's what it means to be nationalist. And if you were part of another country before, you were not included in that part. But you know what the beauty is of the United States of America? That a Hispanic man like me that came to this country with my mother and her teachings to respect the law and never try to be a burden to the country. We followed the law to the letter, became residents, and now we're American citizens. You know what? That's the kind of migrants that we want. The ones that respect the law and the ones that choose to be Americans, not because of their benefits that they're going to get by becoming American, but because they love this country. They love this country. That's why they should be Americans. But you know what Ilhan Omar says? She goes out there on her little random speech, and she says that Somalia's president is her president. Not Trump, she says. Wait a minute. When you became a citizen, you made an oath. You made an oath that the president where you come from will no longer be your president. That government does not govern you. That's the oath. You renounce. You just no, nothing for where you come from. It's over you now. None of their laws. Everything that the United States has, laws, beliefs, and culture, you will accept. If you don't, get the hell back to your country. Don't be an American citizen. You see what I'm saying? Like, how can I explain it any dumber to people? So it's a big deal, right? We'll go back to tariffs. A lot of countries were taking advantage of us using tariffs against us. We use reciprocal tariffs. Do small businesses suffer? Yes, they take a big hit. It's a sacrifice that we got to make as Americans. And as an American, you made a decision. You made a decision that the business that you made was going to depend on the graciousness of China. Well, we found out very quick during COVID, didn't we? Who has our balls in their hands? China. Now, some of the so-called men on the left, they're not real men, so they don't have balls. But what I'm saying is, we opened our eyes, and for the first time, Americans said, doggone it, I hate that we were right. China has been taking advantage of us. Until this day, we're fighting. We're fighting on tariffs. We're defending China. Like, listen, I don't mind if you buy things from China. Go ahead. But if China doesn't want to sell you Jack, you don't get Jack. You see what I'm saying? They refused to give us a lot of stuff during the pandemic. And we had to realize, if you didn't realize it then, listen today. We need to be independent. And you say to me, well, we're not making money. Well, shut the hell up and get a job. See, the difference is that I'm not bitching about people making money. The people that are on social programs that don't want to work, that could be working, that can work, they don't do jack squat. But they like to bitch about the rich man. They like to bitch about the millionaires, the billionaires. And let's be honest, the only reason why they're rich millionaires and billionaires is because of assets. And assets is not dollars. Man, common sense just doesn't come out in a box, does it? Yeah, okay, whatever. But you know what? But you're allowing China to continue to make us fight each other. Instead of saying, hey, you know what? China has been screwing with the United States of America. We're going to stand strong. And yeah, we're going to have to put up with some losses. It is what happens in war. This is a trade war. If you wusses don't want to fight in an actual physical war, well, here's your chance. We got to fight the trade war. The trade war. Why is it that they don't understand? They don't understand that we were losing hundreds of billions of dollars. Why is it that they don't understand that we were giving away hundreds of billions of dollars? Why don't they understand that the government and all these illegal people and all these fraudsters have been stealing hundreds of billions of dollars from the American taxpayer dollars? Why do they deny that? Why do they hide that? Why wouldn't they want to say, hey, listen, you know what? I don't like Trump. But if there is any truth to this fraud going on in Minnesota, California, in Ohio, in Washington, Oregon, if all these things are happening throughout the states and there happens to be with Somali people, if there happens to be where these illegal immigrants are infiltrating our country, don't you think that it would be a good idea to maybe do some investigations? Well, apparently, the mayor of Seattle, she believes no, and that they should be left alone because they're Somalis. We are racist for investigating, for auditing. I don't think so, homie. We're in the United States of America, and if we have to audit businesses, which they do get audited every time, all the time, then we should investigate into that. Why is it? Tell me, Mr. BCJ, if you're still around here somewhere, Mr. Somali perfect guy, tell me this. Riddle me this. The economy of Somalia gets maintained with a $12 billion budget. The whole Somalia economy revolves around $12 billion. Riddle me this. Why is it that when USAID got shut down by Doge, interestingly enough, Somalia's economy just went down the toilet, didn't it? Explain that to me. Explain that to me. If Somalia supported us, if Somalia was our ally, and they would tell their people, respect Americans, I don't even mind giving them $12 billion to maintain their economy. If Venezuela, we're good friends with Venezuela again. You know why? Because now we're trading. Because now things are being fair. The drugs coming from Venezuela, maybe they haven't stopped completely, but it's a huge advancement. Over 25% of those drugs that were coming into our country are no longer here. a lot of lives have been saved. Many people always say, well, if they want to consume it, they're going to continue to send it. Well, guess what? You can't consume something if they can't get it. It's like being a parent. Yeah, my kids want to do a bunch of stuff, but do they get to? Hell no. They got to do what I say. They got to do what I say. I'm the parent. I am not their best friend. I'm not their friend. I am their father. And as a father, I got to show some discipline. I got to correct them. I don't have to tell my boy that he's a boy. He knows he's a boy, but I'm going to reaffirm him that he is a boy. And he will become a man. That is affirming something that is true, not some fictional, demonical ideology. That's just how I am. Do you know why I can discipline my kids? Because I love my kids. I love my children, and they know that. Now, maybe I'm not a good father. I don't spend enough time with them. That could be a problem, and I need to change that. I have a lot of things that I got to do, and I know that a lot of people ruin their lives by doing this, but I have to do what I got to do. And just as everybody else always say, it's only temporary. It's only going to be for this long. I say that, but I don't know how long this fight is going to take for me. So all I can do is trust in God and pray that my kids will understand why I spend so much time doing what I do. How can I say this, man? I love America so bad. It makes me want to cry when I really want to express how much I love this country and how many people are shitting on it. And how many libtards and naive Americans support that. I don't understand. It's crazy. But anywho, we've seen hundreds of billions of dollars coming back to us because of tariffs. Now, if you are in the group that is against tariffs, okay, I'm with you. You can go ahead and be against tariffs. You got your right. Okay? You got your right. Now let me ask you something. Why? It's an honest question. Any of you guys in here can answer this. Tell me, why do small businesses suffer from tariffs? Go ahead and tell me. Why do small businesses and America in general suffer from tariffs? Go ahead. Let's see. Let me see. Come on, guys. You can do this. How have tariffs hurt small businesses? Okay. Why? I want to know why. That's good. I like that. Yeah, they do suffer, but why? Why do they suffer? Come on, you got to hurry. I'm running out of time here. I'm running out of time. Yeah, that's right, Jason. Come on. Tell me why. No, shut the hell up, BC. BC, come on, man. See, you keep proving me you're low IQ. Tell me, why do tariffs hurt companies? Why does it hurt corporations? Why does it hurt small businesses? This hat was made in Bangladesh. I think that's how you say it. Means more of our money stays here instead of going. No, no, no. Why? I want to know. Thank you, Patriot. I want to know. Okay, you know what? You guys are probably not even going to say this shit, but here's where I'm going with this. Okay. Tariffs, it's a tax. It has been changed to a tax now instead of an introductory fee. But a tariff is a tax, just like an ID is a tax. I don't know how that works. Hey, good morning, Cutting Edge. Abortions for the satanic demonic is a sacrifice for the old god Baal. Yes, sir. No, now is Satan, Lucifer, this feminist and everything woke is literally pagan. Yeah. Don't get too religious with me today. Not today, because I'm very short in time. All right, let me tell you why tariffs are bad and they are hurting small businesses and big corporations. Because there is a tax that they now have to add to the cost of doing business. Now, I'm going to put a note to the side and tell you that cost of doing business is a deduction in your taxes. All right, we'll put that aside, just a side note. So this tax is hurting. Now, how many here agree? Put a 1 on the chat. Let me see. As a matter of fact, let me do this real quick. If you agree, let's see. All right, I'm going to put this out. You guys can go ahead. I don't have that many audience today, that much audience, but that's okay. You guys go ahead and choose, okay? Are tariffs hurting our economy? There's a lot of conservatives in here. That's why. That's why the poll is higher on no. Okay. All right. Because we were losing money. That's the point. We were losing money. Okay. So yeah, the economy suffers when it comes to small businesses, big corporations, and you can agree to disagree. I'm okay with that. Right? But what is the main point that we're going to make about tariffs today? And this is something that you can agree with me or pretend that you don't agree. That's fine. But this tax, this introductory tax, affects the way businesses work, right? Why is that? Is it because there's a higher cost of doing business? Sure, of course. I love it. Some of you guys already picked up where I'm going with this, right? You have been watching the Dennis Herrera show long enough to know where I'm going with this. I hope you learn something. That's for sure. Let's see. It's bad for the one buying products. Outside of the USA, but Trump want the people buy American products to help our economy and have real wealth. Okay. You're not there yet, but it's okay. That is true. Here's the thing for my libtards, and I want to leave you guys with this. Okay? Tariffs, which we now all believe is a tax, right? That's okay. It's a tax that by being put on the businesses, right, on those who import here, it's hurting them in the way that they run their business. I love this. I love this. And you agree with me that is bad. Right? So at least 41 of our leftist people here, they know that it does put a burden on the business. And in short, it does affect the economy a little bit. Now, here we go. This is the mammoth of the truth that the leftists don't want to see. Tell me something. What does regulation do to a business? What does property taxes do to a business? What does B&O do to a business? What does a bracket of tax increment according to the profits coming into the business do to the business? The more they grow, the more they make, more taxes get put on them. And as you all agree with me, that putting tariffs, a tax on a business, causes prices to go up. Now tell me why there is no outrage for local taxes being raised by Democrats all over. Tell me why you have nothing to say about an income tax. Tell me why you have nothing to say about the high interest that we have to pay on credit cards and loans. Tell me why you have no say on any tax that is being put on food, on gas, any products, even they're made here in America. You sons of bitches are so hypocritical. You know that everything that is made here in America has a tax, a tariff, if we want to call it that. Why don't we say the truth for what it is? Huh? Let's talk the truth. Let's go. Fucking challenge me, man. I can't wait to start my campaign. I'll tell you that right now. Man, I wish that I had more time. I wish I had more time, but that's what I got for today. I know, Brian, my brothers, Burning, Cotton Edge, all of your members, Robert, especially you, big bro. My man, if you're listening, love you, man. Omar, if you're listening, God bless you. Trinity, if you're listening, God bless you. I love all my patriots, and I hope that everybody on the left that gets to hear this podcast, that gets to hear these words, will come together and realize that critical thinking and common sense, we need to practice it more often. I told you about tariffs, and we'll continue to talk about it with more time. We'll talk about taxes. Don't be a hypocrite. Don't be a loyalist to a party. Be an American. Use your common sense. What's good for Americans is good for the world. Guys, thank you for being with me today. God bless you. God bless your families. God bless the USA. And I'll see you guys on the next one. I don't know what time I'm coming back from the mountain. If I get enough time, I will go ahead and do a live tonight. If I get enough reception where I'm at, because I haven't bought Starlink yet. If I had Starlink, I will do my live in the mountain on the snow so that you guys can see what it looks like over here in Washington State. But guys, until next time, God bless you. I really mean it. And all you libtards out there, come home. We need you. You are Americans as we are, and we need you on our side. Let's make America great again. Okay? I believe that America was great when we were more united. Stop defending foreigners. Put your patriots first. Put your countrymen first. And then we'll think about what we can do for the world. Amen? All right. You all have a good day.